Hey everybody, this is Lonny Sweet from the Sweet Management Group, and you are either listening to or watching the Never Sell Ice to Eskimos podcast, where we talk to sales executives from the culinary, sports, general business, and entertainment worlds about their journey, about being a salesperson in this industry and what it took to get to where they are today. So whether you're listening in your earbuds, you're sitting in front of your computer, I appreciate you stopping by and hope you enjoy. All right. Welcome to the Never Sell Ice to Eskimos podcast. My name is Lonny Sweet. I'm the CEO of Sweet Management Group. I got an interesting and awesome dude on today who I met a handful of years ago. It's Steve Nudelberg. He's the CEO of On the Ball. He's got an amazing podcast with his son, Mark, called The Daily Huddle. He is a master sales guy. So kind of when we talked about, or when I was thinking about creating Never Sell Ice to Eskimos, this podcast talking about like the art of selling and demystifying the sales guy and all this kind of stuff, Steve obviously was top of mind. He's just a magician from a relationship perspective. We met through Rob Thompson, who I think probably, Steve, the way that you have built your business and built your career, it's all through relationships. And you guys were having a drink in the city. It was a beautiful day. You were with your wife. You were drinking with Rob. And Rob's like, shit, man, I got to introduce you to my buddy Lonny. Let me see if he's in the city. I happened to have been in the city. It was like crazy. 200 degrees. It literally was like 200 degrees outside. It was so hot. And I came down and met with you, and I met your wife, and we had a couple drinks. And then that was pre-pandemic. So it was probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And what I love about you, man, is you're so passionate about selling. And more importantly, you're passionate about relationships, and you're an open book. And so you've introduced me to some great people, sight unseen, like for no other reason, for the best reason at all, right? Like, hey, you two should be talking, doing business together because you're both good people. And I like to think that I've created my relationship set like that as well, but you're awesome at it. And so I'm really excited to have you on today, man. Thank you.
First of all, what an introduction. Fantastic.
It was long-winded. I just realized I had to cut myself off. I started talking too much.
The day's going to go downhill from here. You said a couple of really, really cool things. I built my career based on the people I know, not who I've sold to. And I think that's where everything has shifted into a place where it's not transactional. It's all relational. When I start my speeches and, I get up in front of people, I go, hey, listen, man, sales is dead. And they're like, what are you talking about? We just paid you a boatload of money to come talk about sales. And I go, just think about it. Do you know when you're being sold? Yes. Do you like it? No. Then why is it $1 billion category to train people to sell? Conversely, it's easy to make friends. I mean, when I met you, you were cool as shit. We had a drink. I loved what you did. I loved your background. We could be friends forever. There was no expectation
100%.
of me selling anything. And how about this? The word sales is derived from a Scandinavian word, which means to serve. So I wanted to serve you. I'm willing to introduce you to my network because I think that puts me front and center. Like, this dude's unreal, man. Look at how, and so not only to you, but to the people I introduce you to, that's how you build a brand of where this guy gets it. And you know what? If you build the right audience, the right ones raise their hand and say, hey, let's do something together. And I've been super blessed, man. The businesses I've been in my career have been successful. So I've had sales success. I've driven revenue, had a couple of exits. Most of it was with miserable people. Now I get to really, it was sucked. I mean, culture-wise, it was never right because everybody was always putting the sale in front of the rest of the good shit. Now I work with both of my sons. Every day is happy. We are helping people get better. And the world's just never been a better place if you change your point of view.
So I think you started to lean into what On the Ball is, right? And so I was just poking around on your website just now, and I love the fact that you're saying sales is dead. I mean, I don't know if I put it that way, but I just think we need to rethink about what being in sales means, right? At the end of the day, if you're a kid selling up to your parents, whether you're upselling internally, if you're what, that I love the fucking word. Like, everybody always shies away from saying I'm a sales guy or I'm a sales girl. It's like, no, hold on a second. That's what I do for a living. right? What I don't do is shove shit down people's throats anymore like I
So
used to.
that's where the
Right,
connotation got messed up, and people go, "Whoa, sell! You're going to push some shit down my throat." Most salespeople, not you, but most salespeople spend all of their time convincing. I'm going to convince you to buy. We
right.
spend no time convincing. We spend all of our time opening new relationships because they're all little roadmaps to the right person that I can help. And so if you take the focus off of the expectation, and here's a simple math for you, which every sales department was always driven by, you got to hit the number, here's the number, here's
Right.
the right numbers. If you meet 5 new people every day, it's 25 a week, 100 a month, 300 a quarter, 1,200 a year. You meet 1,200 new people a year, I don't care what the fuck you're selling, you'll be top person, because all of those are avenues to the people they know. So
100%.
it's so simple, and the world is socially connected now. We were physically distant, not socially distant. During the pandemic, I was talking to people I hadn't spoken to in years,
Yeah,
but it was great because it was, we do this. I mean, we're doing a podcast, we haven't seen each other physically in 3 years, but,
for
it's
sure.
great. So it's just so
Yeah.
much fun.
So tell me what on the let's talk about what on the ball does for a second. And I want to go back to this whole idea of building relationships and how you meet people. And somebody said something on a previous podcast about the difference of good and great is so small. And so I want
Yeah.
to ask you that question too, because I got a feeling you have a strong opinion on it. But tell me real quickly about what on the ball does, and kind of what you do with people from a coaching perspective.
So the main heart of the company is about personal development. Both of my boys were college football coaches who develop talent. We develop talent. We create a roadmap where people become accountable. We create new daily habits. We educate them on 4 areas of focus: mindset, time management, which most people in sales have shitty time management, modern business. The world's changed, man. Everything is different. So we educate people on that and the new tools. And then if you're not aggressively learning how to use LinkedIn, you're going to get run over. LinkedIn is not a sales platform, even though there's a zillion people, spamming all day long. Let me sell you I buy Bitcoin, buy NFTs. That's not what it's a personal marketing tool that allows you to put yourself in front of 800 million people in a relevant way. Who you are, not what you do. Very significant difference, because most people walk into a party and they go, "Oh, I'm the VP of sales for such and," or "I'm the CEO." I walk into that same party and I go, "I like to drink tequila." Boom, it's a whole different conversation.
Right.
I'm over here at the bar making friends. Nobody wants to talk about insurance or what you do. It's really true in every walk of life that if people connect with you because of who you are, there's something much stronger that gives you permission to move to the next step and talk about what you do. So, for years, I'm jumping in your world, interrupting you to tell you how I make money. I find that ridiculous. Here's why. It's just ridiculous. Think about if you and I were standing in line at Starbucks. You're in front of me and you're talking about the Boston Red Sox, right? I overhear you. Am I going to jump in and say, "Hey, excuse me, you interested in sales coaching?" I look like a fucking moron. I would go, "I'm a Yankee fan. Fuck you. I hate the Red Sox." And we'd be laughing and having a good time. Because of that, we'd get to a point where we would go, "So what do you do?" "Oh, you know what? That'd be great." And I have a real case, many case studies, but one is top guy at Aflac. I see him post about being a New York Jet fan. I'm a New York Jet fan. Only another Jet fan could know the misery of being a New York Jet fan. It's awful. It was gifted to me by my dad and my
Terrible for you.
grandfather.
I'm sorry about that. Yes.
Horrible, right? Exactly,
Terrible.
right. So I reach out and I make a comment to him, only another Jet fan. He connects with me. We go back and forth. We wind up meeting for a cigar. Affleck's our biggest client right now. I never asked him or pitched him. We got to be friends. Then he said, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I work with people, mostly sales and revenue generators trying to get better." "Oh, tell me more." And So it's never pitching, it's telling.
So I got two questions there. One, I'm curious about LinkedIn. Again, and maybe I'm not great at this. I know I'm a very good relationship guy, right? That's just what I've built my career on. I stay
You
in touch with
are.
everybody. I'm super thankful to have. I've worked at a couple of really large agencies, and I'm very good at staying in touch with people, pinging people. I don't think I use LinkedIn nearly enough. I post probably every couple weeks, right? How often? I have two questions because I don't want to forget the other one that has to
Good.
do with patients and young salespeople. But how often are you telling people to post? Are you having them post on their own or respond to posts? Like what's the like one or two things
So
that we should be doing on LinkedIn?
it's so funny because pre-pandemic, I was invited all over the world to speak about, virtual relationships, specifically LinkedIn. And everybody loved my presentation, zero adoption. Nobody did anything. Post-pandemic, all those people came flying like, holy shit, we don't know what to do. So I wrote a program called Learn LinkedIn Like a Pro, 90 minutes or 3 months or a year, depending on how committed you are to it. But our guarantee is that after 90 days, we'll build pipeline for you. There's a set of moving steps. One of them is you have to post every day. So,
Every day.
I'll tell people you got to post every day, and they'll go, great, I'll do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I go, wait, what didn't you understand about every day?
There's 7 days
Every
in a week. Right.
7 days in a week. Then we teach people what to post about because that's where most people get stuck. It's like, oh, I don't want to think about what to post. We teach people it's really more documenting than it is creating.
Mm.
So whatever you do in a day, if there was a news camera following you, they would go, oh, that's a good one. Take a picture of it and post it. It's just people want to know what it's like to be a day in the life of Lonny. Now, reality TV scores more than anything. And it's basically like Seinfeld said, it's nothing. The more personal you get, here's a perfect example. My son, this is great for your audience. My son's wife was going to give birth, and he sits down. He's the president of the company, big responsibility. And he says to me, Dad, I'm going to take paternity leave. I looked at him. I said, what the hell is paternity leave? I go, what is that? He goes, yeah, I'm going to take 3 weeks off. I go, 3 weeks? I said, your mother had a C-section. I went to work the next day. So he takes his 3 weeks off, and I really got it after that. I saw what he did and how he bonded with the baby and his wife. His first day back, he posts something on LinkedIn about paternity leave and got 1 million views. 1 million. It's crazy.
It's amazing.
Just like out of nowhere, people want to know relevant topics, which is what we talk about in the Daily Huddle. It's what we post about, stuff that's real, that if you were sitting down to have a coffee with somebody, what do you talk about? Family,
Yep.
occupation, recreation, and dreams. Hey, what's up, Lonny? Oh, my business is great. It's kicking ass. Great. Okay, cool. What's going on with the family? My daughter, it's the same shit. All you got to do is share it at scale once a day. Picture, 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 and grab what comes at you. And it's wild. I mean,
You gotta be
wild.
willing to open up, right? Listen,
You got to be willing.
I tell my clients this every single time. They want to see you brush your teeth in the morning. They
Yeah.
want to see. They want a glimpse of the inside life, and I know it's uncomfortable for a lot of them, and I push them every day. I think it's probably the same thing for an executive, right? You're just opening up, maybe not as personal, but more about the inner workings of your day-to-day work life.
I think anything that you're willing to share about you is really significant because I think the first decision that anybody makes is on you. If I don't like you, I don't care what you're doing. I'm gone. I'm out the door. But if I like you and I see what you do, that's always been the case. But people focused on the logo on the door. So like your Sweet management, great. You're Lonny Sweet, man. You're the dude. I'm going to Michelle's restaurant. She can call it whatever the hell she wants. She opens a restaurant. I'm going to her restaurant. I bought her. My banker, I don't even know what bank she works for. The names have changed so many times on the building. They got bought. She left, whatever.
Yeah.
I bought her. So it is all about the personal brand. And why do people trust you to grow their business? Because of you, not because of anybody else. You can call yourself anything you want. It's you. And the more I see you, know you, boom, So people used to do newsletters. Today, I give you a piece of that newsletter every day in a chunk that you can
I love
digest
it.
and go, this is a cool guy. This is a guy who's with his family all the time. This is a guy that's on the field at Fenway Park. This is a guy that, is not perfect. He farts and belches just like the rest of us. That's what people want to know.
Wait, you
And when
heard
you
you heard that? No.
you can edit that part out.
All right, so I want to go back to something because first I think it's brilliant, right? Relationship building is an art. I call it sales, call it relationship building, whatever it may be.
Correct.
I'm curious about patience and young salespeople, right? Because if you're not in my role or you're not in your role, right, and you've got time to build relationships and you got a manager above you that's crushing you every single day saying, hey, I need you to close deals, I need you to close deals, I need you to close deals. We all know, like you said before, transactional sales is dead, right? But at some point, when you're lower on the chain and you're just growing up in the business and you're building relationships, like that shit takes time. And I can tell you this: when I was working at SFX a long time ago, and I was grinding it out, I used to be floored at how some of these people were getting meetings with CMOs and VPs of marketing and SVPs of marketing. Like, how the fuck did they do that? As I got older, I realized, all right, well, it takes time to build the relationships, and people that you worked with years ago grow up in the industry as well. How do you talk to young kids about being patient and managing up?
Great question. Awesome question. So sales leadership is behind what sales,
Right.
departments should be doing. We coach behavior. Behavior, dictates outcome. So if you work in a culture that is all about cold calling, which is to me the most ridiculous thing in the world, nobody answers their phone. So statistically, it's less than 1%. Show me your 50 calls. We have a better way that can actually track activity. So if you go to your boss, or your boss is smart enough to know, that says, listen, if you create the right activities over the next 90 days, the results will take care of themselves. So it's a very different kind of thinking, catching on more and more, but it's not working. That's the trust between sales leadership and salespeople is the worst. Like in my own companies, it used to be like Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Like there's no one in the sales room. They all are on the same appointment right by their house.
Right.
So what the pandemic did was said, oh shit, I got to trust my people. They can't be here. Now I can look at, what are you doing? Show me activity every day. And my suggestion is, if you can track the people you're meeting every day and developing these relationships, which is all transparent, you can't fake it. LinkedIn is an
Right.
open book if you know how to use it. And you do 5 meaningful conversations. My thought is, you can either consume my product or service, or somebody who can. So which is why our guarantee, and I don't care if it's a law firm, accounting firm, the people we're doing business with now, in 90 days, you'll have enriched pipeline. You'll have a list of activity that says, yeah, they're interested. When they're interested, I don't know, but real qualified lead developments, which
Mm.
most of the salespeople have a pipeline that's complete bullshit. The same names are there for like 7 years. It's
Yep.
like, you'll be dead before you sell them, because they're trying to convince them. And then here's the real paradigm shift: doing the stuff that we do creates inbound. Like, I just got hired this morning, coincidentally, by Tao Hospitality Group. You probably know those guys.
I'm
Uh,
familiar.
yeah, their event sales team, they want to make a change. They got referred to me. I didn't know anybody there. They got referred to me. So every single day, it's 3 to 5 opportunities that land on my plate, because I'm marketing me and what we do and who we do it with and why we do it. We're very philanthropic. So you can very easily see, oh yeah, you know what? I'd like to have a conversation with these guys. When it comes inbound, it's a whole nother world. I don't worry
100%.
about pitching. You're interested.
So how do you, now that my brain's starting to think, and this is like you got a ton of jewels in here. Um, you're talking to 5 people a day, right? You still have to do the work. You're taking incoming calls. how do you manage your time? I know it's part of what you guys are talking about, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, we're going to do an hour, 45-minute podcast, right? I had a call right before this. I had one before that. I've got an afternoon pack. By the way, I want to go see my daughter play soccer this afternoon in her first high school game. Like, how do you figure out how to effectively manage your time? And do me a favor, don't give me you got to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, because I find that to be bullshit. Everybody's got something different. How do you, I know you do, because that's when you go work out. I wake up
Right.
early too, ish, but I also know if I don't get enough sleep, I'm fucked by the end of the day.
Great.
Right?
So
Like, just fucked by the end of the day.
time management is a personal thing. Good for you.
Yep.
You landed on that. But it's all choreographed. Every day for me is blocked with what I need to accomplish, and then it gets calendared. If it ain't on my calendar, it ain't done. My hack is I take a 12-hour day, 3:30 in the morning till 3:30 in the afternoon, and I program that day, breaking it up into 15 minutes. If you take 12 hours and divide it by 15 minutes, it's 48 boxes. So you said you want an hour with me. You got 4 boxes. As
Right.
soon as I'm done with you, I take a box for myself. I got 15 minutes to do whatever the hell I want, right? I take 8 boxes out of the 48. I own them. They're blocked. Can't get in there. I have coaching calls. They're 30 minutes, 2 boxes, 2 boxes. When you are efficient with labeling your boxes for the activities you want to get done, I'm going to spend from 2 to 3 prospecting. Great, done. So philosophically, when we all went to school, you went into homeroom in the morning, the bell rang, you walked to social studies, you were there for 50 minutes. Boom, the bell rang, you changed and went to chemistry. Bell rang,
Unless, of course, you got kicked out like me, and then you had free time. Random free time. That's right.
Or I was bringing donuts to my teacher because I was late. But philosophically, it was an on and off button, and you created boundaries for the activities you want to do. Most people live in a world of interruption. Everything is, they're distracted, and I'm airtight. Like, I am totally where my feet are with you. I got no other distractions. You own this time with me. Done. Same with my clients.
You turn off all your notifications. You turn off all that kind of shit.
I'm on an airplane, done. Right. Turn it back on. It'll be there because I don't want to be distracted. I want to stay. So that's with my clients. That's with my block time. I get 15 minutes to myself. I live on the beach. I just go out, breathe in the air, take a walk, do whatever the hell I want to do. But I'm done every day at 3:30. I put in a 12-hour day. And if you saw my calendar, you see it's absolutely robust and machine-like. Every day for the next year is already pre-calendared. I use a calendar link to send to people. Yeah, let's do this together. You pick a time that works for me. So I own my calendar. I own the activities. And and this is what time management does that people don't get. Most people think, oh, if I had more time, I'd make more money. Not so much. If you had more time, you have less stress. So when you have less stress, it's where all the big ideas come from. So freedom to think creates new money and new opportunity. That's where all the aha shit happens. Hey, why don't we put chocolate and peanut butter together? That's not happening if you're running from call to call to call, and you can't be effective. So to me, it's like car racing. When the guy who wins the race has the best pit stop strategy. When he stops, when they clean up, and then he goes. You can't win the race without pit stop. Yet most of us are this badge of honor. I worked 50 hours this week. What a stupid idea that is. Manage the time, be effective in the time. And you're a sports fan. Coaches that manage the clock better win every time. It's the same time in football and basketball, but if you manage the clock better, you win. Same thing in life and in sales. It's really fantastic.
You know what I find I'm really shitty at? Giving myself permission to not work. I'm really shitty at it. Really shitty at again, I've had my own company for a really long time. So have you. When I go home and hang out with my kids, I feel like as soon as they're doing their own thing, I got to start working again instead of just taking permission to shut the shit down. It sounds like that's what you're saying, right? Giving yourself permission. You've done your work within your 12 hours, whether you're 12 hours from 9 to 9 or from 7 to 7, whatever else it may be. Does that 12 hours, like you're waking up at 3:30 in the morning? What time are you working at it?
5.
So from 5 to 7, 5 to 6:30, whatever it may be. I'm assuming you're not a long shower guy. My guess is you're probably like a 15 minute shower guy. You're out, right? You don't have
15
you don't have to
minutes?
wash
Are you
your hair.
kidding
You don't.
me?
Oh,
How
dude,
about
might be
15
my best thing in
seconds?
the.
I mean,
Well, you don't
I'm
have
in
you
and
don't have
out.
any. I've got hair to wash. You don't have hair to wash. When after 3:30, what's that 3:30 to whatever? What's first? What time do you go to bed at? That's my other question.
So it's a great question. I go to bed when I'm tired.
Okay.
I eat when I'm hungry. We were programmed, oh, it's Tuesday at 12 o'clock. I got to eat a taco. How dumb is that? If I'm not hungry, I don't
Well,
eat.
that does sound good right now, by the way.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Your world. But I eat when I'm hungry, right? I support my body. I support myself with sleep. So if I'm out, like tomorrow night, my son is speaking, and then we're going to go to dinner. So 6 to 7:30 is the event. Then we'll first go to dinner. I won't be home till 10 o'clock. But normally, if I'm home, I'm asleep by 9 o'clock.
By
And
9 o'clock, you're out.
yeah, I'm tired. It's ready to go to bed. I turn things off, and I like last night. I stayed up to watch Serena. I did
Yeah,
that, and as soon
it's
as
pretty
it
awesome.
was done with oh god, it chills. It's
Yeah,
just
it was pretty
amazing.
awesome.
So, but I'm managing my time. I'm in control. Now, you will never see me at 12 o'clock at night anywhere because nothing good happens then. I'm already done what I need to do, take care of my mind, take care of my body, take care of my business, my family. And then, so people ask me, well, what do you do after 3:30? Whatever the hell I want to do.
Right,
I'll
right.
go
You're in
ride my
Florida.
bike or I do whatever the hell I want, man. I live
You're
on
starting
the
to play
beach.
pickleball, aren't you? You're a pickleball guy?
So I have not done it yet,
Oh,
but
dude,
it's
it's great.
mind-boggling how many people play. It's
It's a great
unbelievable.
game. Really, really great game. We won't get into that.
Fastest growing sport.
Participatory
And
sport, yeah.
I guess at my age, at 62, I got to start looking at shit like that because you don't
It's
move
fun.
around like tennis and
It's a good little workout, though. I mean, you're getting a sweat. I don't know if it's as much of a tennis workout, but it's a good little sweat. So let's dig into kind of, well, first off, I'm intrigued about how you got here, Steve, right? Like I told you before we started this podcast, and I'm all about trying to figure out your personal style, right? It really is, for me, amazing to see like different types of really high level salespeople and how drastically different they can be. You and me are kind of cut from the same type of cloth, a little bit louder, a little bit high energy, kind of like when we're in the room, right? 100% know when we're in the room or in the meeting. There's some of the best field people I've ever met in my life that you don't know they're there until they say something that's wildly intelligent. Or there's people that don't say a damn thing until the end. They're like, all right, let's go golfing and go hang out for a couple hours and the funniest guy in the fucking room, and they're closing deals because that's what they're good at, right? How did you figure out your style? And more importantly, how do you help people figure out their individual style?
Another great question, man. You're really good at this. So just like superheroes, there's one special thing about you that resonates with your audience. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, they all had one thing that you sort of, oh, that's their thing. So if you looked at superheroes, they have that one secret sauce. I think people have the same thing. I, as a student of the game, paid attention to what people reacted to me. The ones that came into my world, like, what are you reacting to? Why me? 99% of them said, when you show up, it's like somebody plugged the room in. There's more energy. So I own energy. That's my superpower.
I love
Now
that.
I could be over energized, and someone goes, "That guy's just way too hyped for me." Great, because if I hit 3 out of every 10 in baseball, I'm in the Hall of Fame. You
Right.
know, with all, I don't need everybody to love me. It's one of the best lessons in sales. People get stuck on, oh, they didn't like me. Good. Hey, you don't
It's
like
one of the
ball
best
guys.
lessons in life, by the way. Forget sales. It's
Yeah,
one of the best lessons in life. Right.
you don't like ball guys. Let me know early. Don't string me along. Just say,
Right.
good. I don't dig ball guys. Great. I'm gone. You don't have to
Right.
worry about it. Easier for me. But I think people are caught up in like, oh, I need you to validate me. I know what I do. I know who I do it with. I know why I do it. All of those things. And all I do is go about my way. And the ones that connect organically and genuinely become part of my tribe. You build a big enough tribe, it's a great place to live. And it validated itself. It always validates itself, but it validated itself in the pandemic because people were like, dude, I'm working from home. I'm lost. I need your energy. I need your energy. I need your. So it's a part of why my coaching style works is that I'm not, I'm holding you accountable. I'm not, soft about it. I'm
Right.
in your face, man. But I'm always committed to making you better. Now, are there coaches that do differently? Yeah, they couldn't work for me. They couldn't, I need somebody like I have mentors and coaches, which freaks people out. They go, aren't you a coach? I go, yeah. The reason why I'm a good coach is I have a coach.
Right.
But my coach holds me to a very high standard. I'm accountable to that. You have to be able to be strong to corral me. So that's a long-winded answer, but no matter what you are, if you're genuine and authentic, especially in the world we live in, you'll match up with the people you're supposed to match up to. It's when like the guy that's really quiet tries to be like me. A lot of times people say, wow, I love the career, love what's going on with you. I want to be you. No, 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 no. There's only one me. You got to be the best you. And then people will know that because they'll see the rub. They'll go, that guy's full of shit. That's not.
Everybody's trying to be Gary Vee in sales.
You're
And
right,
it doesn't
exactly.
always
It's
work that way.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like, seriously. And he isn't all that great either.
Yeah. I mean,
he's
listen,
him.
his stuff is great. He's him. He's
He's him.
authentically him, and he doesn't give a shit. So how has we talked a lot about the pandemic and people, sales leadership? How has it changed that people aren't in a room, right? Like when I grew up selling, right, part of the beauty was being around people, going to meetings, learning from osmosis, sitting outside people's doors, listening to their conversations, being like around it, right? And I think culture was such a huge part of that too, right? Like being able to during your 15-minute block or whatever it may be, throw the football around with somebody in the room, just kind of have a fun conversation, just like be around like-minded people. Our world is fucked right now, and more companies are going to this remote learning or whatever, remote working. How has that changed the way people are selling?
So reorienting the way you see things, your perspective, my suggestion is if you landed on the planet today and you inquired about a new sales job and they said, listen, all you need to do is like go out and make 5 friends every day and we'll have a process and super fun. The tools are there. You never need to leave your desk. You're in shorts. And how does that sound? Great. So I think the new face-to-face is this. This is great. I mean, am I physically next to you? No, but it can be. And if it's worth it, I think for salespeople, we used to go on meetings and I used to fly to somebody and walk
Yeah,
in the office. It was like the biggest dud ever. I was like, what a waste of my time. How did I not pick this up before? That's over. I'm no longer driving far in traffic, in rain or heat. I'm doing it all up front, virtually, face to face. So we renamed the process. Face to face is this, and face to flesh is if you earn it. So I'll go break bread with somebody when there's some reason to go break bread. I don't have to take somebody to 7 dinners or 7 drinks to get to where I could get to in 15 minutes. It's much
right.
more efficient, much more fun. And believe me, this whole thing here, real fast whether you can get along with somebody or not. So
100%.
it's just reorienting. Well, that's the way it used to be. Well, you used to use 8-track tapes and used to use, a Walkman or whatever. Things change. The sales community didn't want to change. They're stuck. Now, is there a place for camaraderie and collaboration? Yes. But I don't need to be in the office every day to do that. You can say every Thursday is collaboration day. I can go to the office 1 day a week. I can get my buzz and my fix and then go back to being really efficient instead of sitting in traffic for an hour each way and all the things it takes. So when you break it down, which we do, being the most efficient with the time allotted gives you much more time to do the things you love to do, which when I hear people talk about work-life balance, you're in control, man. You can do whatever you want. The badge of honor that people walk around with. Hey, Lonnie, how you doing? Oh, I'm busy. What? I'm not busy. I'm efficient. I'm productive. Do what I need to do. I'm super happy, but I don't have to do it 24 hours a day. Oh, we're putting in 80 hours a week. Good for you. You're an idiot. It's like I can do the same thing in 35. It's
It's
like
awesome.
so it's just mindset. So for me, I feed myself every day with stuff. You said Gary V, Tony Robbins. There's so much greats. Robin Sharma. All those. Simon Sinek. I get up,
I
man.
love that guy.
You fill yourself worth of 15 minutes worth of that. You can go build buildings, man. It's like, yeah, let's go. I
Right.
don't need somebody next to me telling me that they're having a problem with their wife, which is what the sales bullpen was. I gambled away all my money. I don't
Right.
need that. It's all good. And then I choose my tribe. And if I need somebody, I ring you up and I say, you got 15 minutes. Let's do this dance. I'm supercharged and away we go. So I think it's
love it.
better.
Dude, I just love your mentality. I do. I love it's not the positivity, right? The positivity is awesome, but it is about, there's no bullshit, right? Like you got to flush your shit out. Sales and building relationships, it's not easy, but it's
No.
process driven and it doesn't, I don't know,
So
it's
let
fun.
me ask
It
you.
really should be fun, by the way.
Let me ask you a question. What was the biggest hang up about being in sales? What would you say the biggest hang up is?
For me personally and for people in
Or in
general,
general? In general.
I think some people aren't comfortable talking to other people.
Okay. So let's take that. I think most people are afraid of being rejected.
Yeah, I think some
So,
people are too.
so rejection, I think, is a huge part of why people don't want to be in sales. I don't want to ask you because if you say no, I'm going to go into, the new, this process, there's no rejection. You're hanging out with friends all day long. Oh, we don't connect? See ya. Next.
Yeah.
800 million people in LinkedIn. It's the biggest networking event ever. If you learn how to use it, it's a steady diet of new people who are Jet fans and love New York pizza and love, yeah, let's go. They just opened Joe's Pizza in South Florida. That's a conversation. Somebody
It is a
posts a picture
conversation.
there. I'm like, motherfucker, are you kidding me, man? Outside of Shea Stadium.
My favorite slice in the city. So listen, normally I go into kind of rapid fire, and if we got time, I want to do that. But I got a question because you're a perfect one to answer it. Do
Okay.
you think that salespeople are born, or do you think they can be nurtured? Like I always just have this idea of like there are some people that are put on this earth. I think I'm one of them to be in sales. I think you're one of them to be in sales, right? Like I think I was put on this earth to do that in some way, shape, or form. Do you think you can be taught it, or do you think it's something that's innate?
So I absolutely think you can be taught it, number one, but I'll qualify it with this. Most of the time, the guy who was the born salesperson is the cancer in a sales organization. It's all about him, it's me or her, and I'm knocking the cover off the ball. We go in and do consulting, and I go, fire that guy and watch what happens. They go, what are you, crazy? He's our top biller. Yeah, but he's blowing shit on everybody. So culturally, if you have a unit that you show the right behaviors to and mirror those behaviors and hold them accountable, we've taken the best story I have in sales coaching is a law firm in Reston, Virginia that found us. The CEO, it's Harity and Harity. John Harity reaches out to me. I want to have a conversation. We have a conversation. He goes, let me tell you who I am. I'm an engineer that became an attorney, which in your world equals nerd. So I like cracked up. I was like, awesome, dude. He goes, can you teach nerds how to develop new business? I said, it's a process. If you follow the process and do what I say, it will work. 90 days later, they closed their biggest deal ever. And he's my best testimonial because people call him and he's a small little dude, bald with glasses. I mean, he is every bit of what he says he is, but we taught him the process, sticks to the process. And boom, he created awareness, which led to people coming inbound to use his services.
So you're saying you can actually teach the process. I love that.
No doubt. I would take that bet every day of the week.
I love it. I was going to ask you some other rapid fire, but I want to leave on that, man. Like usually I'll ask you a podcast or book. I got a feeling you're going to say both. I was going to ask you which ones you're listening to. You already told me Cynic and Robbins and all those kind of guys. I'm appreciative of you. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate the time. I love this stuff. You know, I for my career, I've always spent time in personal development, and I got a long way to go, but I'm still reading and learning and pushing. Your energy is fucking awesome, dude. I love it.
You're a good guy. That's why your business is what it is. All that kind of stuff. It's all. I would do anything for you still, then,
Likewise.
now. And I think I'll leave you with this. I think life is a boomerang. What you throw out, you get back. So I'm not
100%.
looking for it one-to-one. Something knocks me in the head and I go, where did that come from? It's because I did the right thing first.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, Steve, I appreciate it, bud. And I'll be down in Florida soon, and I'll pick up the phone call you. We'll go grab some drinks.
Cannot wait.
At like 4:00, right after 3:30.
I'm ready, man. Let's go, man.
All right, bud. Have a good one.
Bye.